back to Julie's Wreath Boutique. Oh my word, you guys went nuts over my Temu haul. So I asked you, where do you want to shop? And you said a lot of places, but Michael's was one of them. And I decided to go over to my local Michael's, shop. I bought some things, and I'm going to show you some things I wouldn't buy at Michael's as well. So sit back, relax, because we're going to be all about Michael's craft store today. And I'm going to tell you where to buy the products if I won't buy the products at Michael's, and where I think the best deal is. Now, I want to keep in mind here that one of the trends that I've seen online and one of the trends that I saw when I was at Michael's is that honestly, purchasing something on Michael's website is cheaper than going into the store. I don't know why that is, but everything that I priced at Michael's was about 25% less online if you use their like crafty code or something to that fact. All right, but that's besides the point. So when you're walking into Michael's, I want you to check and see if the product is cheaper online. And if it is, you might want to save yourself a few little dollars and order it online. Now, for this video, you're going to see products that pop up. And if Michael's has it in stock and the things that I show you, if they have it in stock online, it's going to pop up on the screen. So if you want to purchase it, you can click on it and add it to your cart. But let's get into what I would buy and what I wouldn't buy at Michael's. Okay, so I showed this a few weeks ago, I think in a story on Instagram. But if you want to make this wreath that I made like 5 years ago, this is where you need to buy one of these hula hoops, and I'll show you how to make this beautiful wreath. So easy and such a great find. Then we walked over to the wood cutout sections. Now, notice the price here, $8.79 for this round 12-inch sign, right? $8.79. But then we go over here and you can get a 2-pack, same size, same product, 2 for $19.49. Tell me what's wrong with this picture. Then this really cool white just base of a board and all of these fun finds. Let me show you what I purchased from Michael's. Okay, so what did I end up buying? Well, I bought this little white sign. Why did I buy this sign? Well, because it's already a nice painted surface. I love the indentions that it has on each side. And I thought I could put welcome to our home or do something with maybe the Cricut or use my hand lettering that my friends have. They have templates that you can use as well. And I thought this would be the perfect size for a good size, maybe grapevine wreath. But I thought this was a neat find to have. So I would buy this again. And again, it was cheaper online. Now this one, as you saw in the video, I was a little perplexed. Why in the world does Michael's sell this one for cheaper than they sell a 2-pack? I have no idea. Don't ask me the questions on that one. I don't know. But I would purchase them one at a time before I would buy the 2-pack. You'll save money. And again, it was cheaper online. One of the things that I want to point out that this is like an MDF, so it's a composite wood, even though it doesn't look like it on the front there. So you're going to want to seal the edges, especially if this wreath or whatever purpose you have for this is going to be exposed to the elements. So keep that in mind when you buy this. But this is a great round sign that you can make a beautiful door hanger or even a beautiful sign for your wreath. Okay, I couldn't pass this up. I show you in the video and I had to come home with it. This is a little box and I feel like that's a really good size. It has the scalloped edges. I'm all about the scallops. In fact, I have a little project that I'm going to show you how to do in my studio here, probably in a few weeks, and it has scallops, all right? I feel like this would be really fun, and if I get time, we might throw in a little craft at the end here of me maybe decoupaging this with napkins. I think this is so cute, and it was only $10. Well worth the money in my opinion. Let's talk about mesh at Michael's. It's kind of hit or miss, but overall, I think it's probably more of a hit than a miss, and I'll tell you why. There are the 21-inch rolls of mesh here. These are the full size rolls. They have at least maybe 30 feet on them for $9.99. Here's the problem that we come on these days is you can't hardly find rolls like that. But then we have the poly burlap mesh. Is it a full roll? No, it's only 19 foot. And that particular like basket weave, that just doesn't look that great. But the poly burlap, I've used the poly burlap. It's a little different than what I order online. But again, the price isn't great. You can get a better deal ordering that online. Now, if you want 12-inch mesh, here you go. This is a great find. And I think Michael's is the only store that has it. But let's take a look at the ribbon. Now, the ribbon was a little disappointing, not for the lack of they didn't have enough ribbon, they did, but for the price and the amount that you get, it just really wasn't worth it. So for $5.99, I could get 5 yards of ribbon, but I could go to Wreaths of Joy, the Wreath Shop, Trendy Tree, and get about double the ribbon, and it's probably going to be in a little bit better quality for maybe $7.99 a roll. So you just saw the ribbon. Sadly, I didn't buy any of the ribbon. The reason, it wasn't on sale. And I didn't feel like that was even worth it, in my opinion. If I'm going to buy ribbon, I'm going to go buy it at Hobby Lobby when it's on sale. And I think that's every other week. Don't quote me on that. And the other place I would buy ribbon is Wreaths of Joy or the Wreath Shop or Trendy Tree. Those are online places that have amazing ribbon. The quality of the ribbon is outstanding. And the amount of ribbon, usually a typical roll will have 10 yards in it for like maybe $7. So buying 3 to 5 yards for $12 at Michael's didn't make any sense. Let's talk deco mesh, poly burlap mesh, all kinds of mesh. Now, Michael's has a good variety of mesh, all right? And if you want I think these are 21 inches, yeah, 21-inch roll of deco mesh or this poly burlap mesh, this is probably the only place you're gonna find it. I mean, seriously, I don't know of any other place that sells this big. Even the online stores are not offering this as much because it's so expensive to ship. So I definitely would recommend this. I'm going to link a video here of, I have some, actually I'm gonna link the playlist of the videos that you can use this size wreath or mesh with. I know words are hard, Julie. Okay, we'll get it back together. But this is poly burlap. This makes a beautiful daisy wreath. And again, it's 21 inches long. Now, does this have, it only has 15 feet. So you might need 2 of these to make a really good size flower or any type of wreath. But for $14.99, it's an okay deal. And if you have a coupon, use your coupon. And again, it's cheaper online. The next one, the thing about this is a size you don't see. I don't see a 12-inch roll of mesh. Yep, that's 12 inches long anywhere online. I only have seen this at Michael's. So if you want a little bit larger, maybe petal for a flower wreath, you could use a 12-inch and cut a 12-inch square and make your petal with it, okay? If you want not quite a 21-inch, but a little bit longer than a 10-inch, this is a great find too. This was fairly inexpensive. To me, it was definitely worth the money. 35 feet on this, and it's 12 inches long. And the actual mesh feels really good. You can kind of tell with deco mesh if it has structure to it, and this has structure. I know that might sound a little odd, but if you know, you know, that kind of thing. But definitely check out their mesh. Let's move on to the needle points, maybe the punch needling, the felt needling, all these types of different crafts. Now they have a lot of kits, and you can see the prices $12.99 to $4.99. This one was $16.99. Tell me in the comments, was this a good deal or not? Because I don't cross stitch, so I'm not sure. But as far as the variety of things that you could make, there was a lot. And these are the felt needling kits as well as the supplies. Now, I do feel like the supplies for this is a little cheaper over at Hobby Lobby. So keep that in mind. And a lot of these really cool tools, I'm not sure if this is a great price, but I would always compare. Now, here's the problem I have. Biggest problem with Michael's was the Fisker's product. 77.99. Now, let me tell you where you can get that cheaper. You can get it cheaper at Walmart for about $35, and you can walk in and purchase it or even order it. Now, the other thing I looked at was like all the scissors. And if you notice there, that is some pinking shears for $59.99. I can purchase the same ones on Amazon for around $30. So, the moral of the story, unless you have a really good coupon, shop somewhere else. Now, here are the different like little blanks of handbags and hats that you can like decorate. I feel like the handbags over at Hobby Lobby are better. I feel like they have a better quality, and the hats, the price was a little bit higher than Hobby Lobby, and it just wasn't something that I would buy. Now, this right here, this was a great deal. Okay, the next thing are the t-shirts. I feel like this was a super deal. These are $2.99 and they're, I think, $1 more if you need plus sizes, but they go from youth to adult. They're by Gildan and they are heavy cotton. I'm trying to see if I can see what it's made of. I can't see it right here, but listen, if you're making a t-shirt for summertime, and maybe you've got a VBS coming up and you need to make some t-shirts for your staff, this would be a really inexpensive way to do it. Get your Cricut machine out, get your heat press. I'm going to show you how to make something with one of these shirts really easy. But I got this pink and kind of like this peachy color. Now they did have some comfort colors. If you know what comfort colors are, they're a little bit of a faded material, and I want to say those may have been around the $10 mark. I'm not a comfort colors person. I just don't love the feel of them. But for $2.99, even if you didn't do anything to them, this is a great find for your kids for the summertime. And you know how rough they are on their summer clothes and playing outside. So again, go to Michael's and get these t-shirts. It's a great deal. Diamond art, anyone? This place had a lot of options. Tried to show you there for $7. They had a lot of clearance options. So I'm not really sure if that was because people aren't as into it as others, but I do know that they sell these at Hobby Lobby as well. Let me know in the comments what you think of the Michaels prices for these projects. I'm not sure if they include everything like the tools, but I'm sure that it has all the necessary little gems. Now, the wreaths, don't waste your time. This is a waste of money and they're super expensive. Now, here's something that I do use, and I love these plastic containers. What I didn't like about the day that I was in Michael's, they were not on sale. Don't buy these when they're not on sale. It's not worth the money, I promise. But my favorite thing here is, and I'm going to show you how I use these, are these big storage boxes with all these little mini storage boxes. A lot of people use these for photos, but I use it for my scrapbooking and junk journaling. And I don't even keep all these little boxes together. I actually separate it and I use the big box for other tools. But let me show you what I do at home. I have this drawer and I made these little labels that I just wrote on. And I know I had a label maker somewhere, but I couldn't find it at the time. And this is how I keep track of different things that I use for junk journaling and scrapbooking. But again, do not purchase this unless you can get it on sale. I only paid like 20 bucks for that whole thing last year. Now, this is something I feel like Michaels has always had a really good handle on, and that's their natural colored burlap. You can get a 30-foot roll and it's $8.79 a roll. Okay, that's a good deal. Then you can get a bigger piece, like maybe up to 12 inches. But this right here, this is the really nice stuff. You get 20 foot, it's $8.99, and it's very different and really nice. Now, if you want something with lace, this is a little bit more pricier, but you have to realize you're getting two products in one. Now, this is their jute. This was a pretty good deal. You get a lot. All right, so let's take a look at some other wreath supplies. This saddle frame I think is a good deal for $6.49. Then they have these wooden frames. I'm not really sure about the price. I think they're cheaper at Hobby Lobby. One of these types of frames, I think they were $16. Again, I think they're cheaper at the Wreath shop. And they had a lot of different regular wreath frames. And if you're looking for a really big one, this is a place to buy it. Here is one with like the little stems on it. It was $12.49. If you have a coupon, great. The gold rings, I think these were an okay price, but again, I don't play with them or craft with them a whole lot. Then you have the glue guns. Here's my little tip on this. Go to Amazon, go to the link in my bio, and purchase the full-size Surebonder cordless glue gun for 20 bucks. And again, they have always had a lot of styrofoam, but if you don't have a coupon, you're going to pay full price. And these things have always freaked me out as a child. Did they do that to you too? I hated them when I'd go to my grandmother's house. Oh, I hated them. All right, get back to the story, Julie. Let's talk about craft supplies. Now, I'm going to share my thoughts on these wreath frames here in a moment, but grapevine wreaths, go to Hobby Lobby. I just feel like they're fuller and a little bit better quality. So, what did I buy? If you're watching this far, tell me, what is your favorite thing so far? Let me know down in the comments. But now let's talk about the wreath frames. I showed you all the grapevine wreaths. They have a lot of different styles of wreaths there. They even have the wreaths that look like willow branches or whatever, but they're super expensive. And unless you have a coupon, and to me, they don't put that many coupons out, it's just a little too pricey. I don't want to ever spend $40 on a wreath base. No, thank you. But I did pick up one of these. This is a 12-inch wreath form. I'm currently out of them, so I picked one up. And this was about $4.99. Again, if you purchased it online, it's at least 25% cheaper. I don't know why. I don't know why. I've seen this come across many platforms where people are talking. It's cheaper to buy the stuff from Michael's online than going into the store. You tell me what you think. Are you seeing that? Let me know down in the comments. But I think that this is a great wreath form. I like how wide it is. I like how we have 4 wires here. Again, you can make most every wreath that I teach you on one of these frames, whether it's a flower wreath or a mesh wreath. So again, this is a great find. Probably my favorite section of Michael's. They're really good at vibrant colors. I loved all the selection they had. I wish they would have had a little bit more, but again, it could have been the fact that they got bought out, and that sign right there is really important here in a moment. But they had just some really good pieces, and I'm going to show you what I bought. But keep in mind, this was May of 2026. Do I know why my Michaels looks like this? No, I don't. But here's a fun find here. I bought one of these about 2 weeks ago when they were 40% off, but I think they're 50% off now. This is a great way to get some ferns and a lot of them for the price, and I'll put them on wreaths. And then the spring florals. So, which ones did I bring home and which ones did I leave at the store? All right, now we're headed into the greenery and the florals. Now they were a little kind of empty on the main florals area at my local Michael's. Maybe they're restocking, I'm not sure. But I did have some good finds. Now here's what I kind of ran into. There was a sign that said 50% all ashland stems. And then there were signs that said 50% all spring and summer ashland stems. And so make sure that if you're in the store and you see the sign, make sure that they honor the price, because that's what happened to me. I even took the cashier over to where the sign was. She's like, yeah, sure enough, this is out. We've got to honor it. So always make sure you pay attention to those signs. Now, I did get a few greenery things. Now, when I think about greenery for crafting, I want a greenery that can go with a lot of different styles. That is either a great filler for a wreath, or maybe just like a filler for a vase or a vase or something that I want to, make decor in my home. All right. I'm going to show you a picture of what I do. I have some from Amazon and I love the way it looks on my mantle. These greenery stems came from Amazon. I love them. I'll leave you the link. And the vase for it is a wooden vase from Hobby Lobby, and I love it. Okay, so the first one I bought, they only had one. So I only got one, and that's okay. Maybe you can order more or see it in your store, but isn't that pretty? I think that is so pretty. This is kind of like they just call it a bush, but it's kind of like a fern, and I love a good fern. I feel like a good fern will work all year long, especially even in winter. I feel like it's just such a vibrant leaf, and I love these. This was 50% off, so I believe this was around the $5 mark at the Michaels, and honestly, I think it's even cheaper online. Here's the next one. Now, this to me is more spring. It's a eucalyptus, and I thought that this would be even pretty kind of in a vase on maybe get a couple of these stems and have it like on a side table or decor, or just cut it and put it on a wreath. I just think it's really pretty. Again, this one was $12.99 regular. It's that you have Canadian prices too, but this was about $6.50 on sale. Now, these were the ones that they had to go back and let me know that they were indeed on sale. So I got a couple of these. Let's see here. So I got 2 of these. Aren't those beautiful? I just love the way that they look. Again, these were $7.99 at Branch, which made them about $4. Okay, so this was my favorite find of the day. And I know, Julie, it's Greenery. You don't need to get excited about Greenery. I got excited about this Greenery. Now, this is not a seasonal thing, okay? Now, if you look really close, yes, it kind of gives you more of a maybe winter vibe. This kind of reminded me of like a spruce leaf, and I just thought it was beautiful. But here is why I loved it, okay? Remember I said that I saw a sign, it said Ashland stems, all Ashland stems, not the summer, not the spring, all, because I made sure I checked. These were $4.99 a stem. Guys, I got these for $2.50 a piece. I feel like that was such a good win. I mean, you couldn't even go into Dollar Tree and get 2 of them that look so good. So of course I bought all that my Michaels had, which was 4 stems. So again, you might want to order these online, but isn't that gorgeous? I just think that that is so good and so kind of luxe is a good way to put it, but and a great deal at 50% off. Okay, I buy these every year from Michaels, every single year. And of course I had to buy them again. Do I need them? No, I don't need them, but I love these. I think, is this a ranunculus? I don't even know if I said that correct, but these are so pretty, and they're one of my favorite flowers to use in the spring and summer. I've done so many crafts, so many wreaths with this color, with the pink, the peach, and I'm obsessed with it. I think it's such a good filler for any type of wreath. And this one this was 50% off. And this is normally $12.99, which I got it for about $6.50. Okay, so the next ones, again, this was not a summer stem, not a spring stem. So they had to adjust the price because, again, I saw that sign. But these were $9.99 a piece. Aren't those beautiful? I just thought those were so pretty. And honestly, I could use these in a summer piece, a spring piece, and a fall. I feel like that would still really go well. So I got 2 of these. They were $9.99 a piece, which made them $5. So I just feel like that was a pretty good deal. So I showed you these in the video. These are more of the ranunculus. They look a little different than the blue ones. The Greenery is very different. It's not the same. This is a little bit of a deeper leaf, and these are in the main section of florals and Greenery at Michaels, okay? So as you can see, aren't those beautiful? I feel like you guys are getting a really good view there. I love these. And again, this is something that speaks to me as far as stems go. So these were $9.99 a piece. Would I pay $9.99 for a single? No, I would not have paid that. But for $5 a piece, I will pay that. And again, if you get them online, they might be a little cheaper if you can stack a coupon. Here's another really fun kind of filler. What I thought about this one was more of to go in a vase upstairs in my living room or my dining room. I just feel like it's so pretty. This was $7.99, again, making it $4. So I felt like this is good. I probably should have bought a couple more of these, but that's okay. They have them in different colors. I want to say they have like a soft blush pink too. And finally, this. I thought this was so pretty. This is a very different look. This is a summer, I believe. Yes, a summer bush here. And these were $7.99 regular, which I got for $4. And I don't even know if that's like a chrysanthemum or if you can even buy green chrysanthemums, but I just thought that was beautiful. I mean, seriously. To leave without giving you my thoughts on the red, white, and blue section, okay? They had lots of this, well, not lots. This is just an end cap, let's be honest. But they had some nice ribbon. Did I think that the prices were great? Not really. But if you need some patriotic ribbon, they've got some, you know. They're not going to be as nice as what I find online, but I just wanted to make sure I included all this. Are those dogs, those ceramic dogs are so cute. I love the home decor that they had. I thought these pillows were super cute. If I had a place to put those, I would have bought those. But again, I don't have a place. But anyways, I hope that you love the decor here. I thought it was great. I hope you enjoyed today's video. It was fun to go into Michael's and share the content with you. And honestly, there's some good finds at Michael's, but anywhere you go, there's going to be things that you're not going to want to spend the money on and things that you do think the money is worth it. So it's kind of give or take, and shop the sales. The sales will always make a better deal for you. Now listen, I have something to tell you. I made an order from Shein on craft supplies, and they should be here by the end of the week. And so I'll make another video and we'll talk about Shein craft supplies for you. Is it worth it or is it not? And here's a sneak peek. I ordered one of the wreaths, and I know, tell me if you know, when you see online that they have taken the picture of somebody's wreath that they obviously can't make and share, but anyways, they're going to sell me the wreath at $7.99. I ordered one of those wreaths. So I can't wait to see and share with you what I actually got versus what the picture showed. So I did a couple of those items. Did I order any mesh? I didn't. You want to know why? Because they wanted to charge $15 for shipping just for one roll of mesh. And I was like, no, we're not doing that. But we did get a lot of supplies, and we did have some fun with it. One other note with the Michael's haul that I got, I made sure that I used my Michael's rewards, and they had some coupons on my phone. So instead of spending $135, I spent around $100 on all of these supplies. So if you like this content, let me know down below. If you watched the whole video, leave me a rose in the comments. And I hope you'll come back next time to Julie's Wreath Boutique as we explore the world of crafting. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.